Hey, good morning everybody. So here's what we're gonna do today. It's Christmas morning. I'm gonna make a ham. So I bought a pre-baked ham or pre-cooked ham, whatever you wanna say. And we're gonna put it on the pellet smoker, probably for about 3 hours or so. And we're gonna smoke it, it's just gonna be delicious. And then we're gonna make our own glaze. So instead of doing the store-bought glaze that comes with it, that's full of high fructose corn syrup, we're gonna make a glaze with some butter and some bourbon. It's gonna be really good. I'll show you guys what we're gonna do. So let me get the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this ham here. We're gonna take this ham here and we're gonna spray it down with I'm using avocado oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you like. So we're gonna spray it down with the oil. By the way, if you haven't got one of these bottles, these are like $2 at Academy. It's Outdoor Gourmet is the brand. They're fantastic, especially for cooking on the Blackstone. Make sure you don't overuse the oil. So what we're just gonna slather it, and this is mainly just to make the rub stick on. So we're gonna slather it up, and then I'm gonna put this Meat Church Honey Barbecue rub on it. So I'm gonna get it all nice and slathered up here. Now when I took the ham out, the first thing I did is I rinsed it to get all the crap off of it. And then after I rinsed it, I patted it down with some paper towels. So that's all we're doing now, is just slathering it down and that's for the rub to stick. And then we're gonna take this Meat Church rub and put it on. It's gonna be really cool. So let me put this down for a sec. A lot of this stuff is hard to do with one hand, but we're gonna take the Holy Hog, is that what it is? No, honey hog barbecue Meat Church seasoning. We're just gonna season it up liberally. Just kind of put it on there, put it on everywhere. So you can see it kind of looks, see how it's sticking. So we're gonna give this about 30 minutes to sink in. Work its way into the meat. And then in the meantime, we're gonna start up the smoker. So it says to do it at 250 when I looked it up, but I'm gonna do a 220, and I'm just gonna do it a little longer. So we'll get it ready. I'll get back with you guys here. All right guys, so I got the pit fired up, 220, and got the ham on there. I took the top rack out. I'm also gonna make a green bean casserole and smoke that, see how that is. Hey guys, so we're gonna do the green bean casserole real quick. I'm just gonna show you here. I got my little helper in the corner here. This is Maverick. So what I do is a little bit different than most people. I use French style cut green beans. I've already drained them. So we're just gonna dump those in. I'm doing a double batch. So usually I do 2 cans. I'm gonna do 4. And then I don't add milk to it. I just put more cream of mushroom in there. So we got the 4 cans in here, and we're gonna throw this on the smoker so you can see we got it in this kind of pan. And we're just gonna take this, open it up. And it's gonna be 3 cans of the cream of mushroom. If you want to dump a can of cream of mushroom in there?
Yes.
Grab one, it's right next to you.
With this one?
No.
This one?
Yep, grab one of those. And then we'll open it up.
I can't open it up.
Here, I'll open it and you can put it in there, okay? Yep. Just dump it in there. Easy green bean casserole recipe.
Yeah. Easy.
You like that new toy, Maverick?
Uh-huh.
You want to show everybody what it is?
No.
Ooh, it's a transformer, huh?
It is.
He's loud.
Yeah, it's loud. It's.
Let's get moving.
It's got real.
And I just use a spatula to get the rest out of there so it's not all stuck in.
Yeah, because it's kind of stuck.
Yeah, you tell them that right. So here's what I normally do. You can use any kind of bacon you want, real bacon, or I use these, the Hormel real bacon bits. So I've got a little bit left from last time, so I'm just gonna dump these in there. It gives it a little extra flavor. You don't really have to add any salt, pepper, or anything like that. The bacon takes care of the flavor. If you got some bacon that you cooked earlier, you want to use, just crunch it up in a bag, sprinkle it on top. And I put one of these in there. This is the French's onions. Here, let me see that. Let's turn it down a little bit. It's really loud. We want people to hear what we're saying. So I use a whole thing of French fried onions. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix that all up. And then I'm gonna put these on top. And then I'm gonna throw this on the smoker with the ham. And I'm gonna just see how it goes. It's the first time trying it, so we'll see how it goes. And we'll go from there. I'll let you guys know. We got a nice smoke roll out of the smoker. There's my green bean casserole. I'm about to throw it on. I put the French fried onions on top. One thing I did too is I also added another can of cream of mushroom. I forgot my recipe is 1 to 1. So 1 can of green beans, 1 can of cream of mushroom. So definitely do that. It makes it creamier. If you're looking to not eat meat, just take the bacon out. It's still really, really good. Some people I put cheese in it before. That's really good. It's just an option. I'm not a big cheese fan, so I'm gonna leave it off. But so we got the Pitboss going about 218. My meat probe on my ham is 48 degrees, so we got a while on it yet. But I'm gonna throw this on, and I'm gonna put a meat probe in it at 165. Is when I'm gonna pull it. So we'll just kind of see how that goes, so I can let you guys know how long that is. So right now it's 10:52 in Oklahoma. So we'll see how long it takes. Man, that looks good. I can't wait till it's done. So we're about a half hour in, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spritz the ham with apple juice. This is optional, this is not in the recipe, but I wanna keep that ham nice and wet and moist. So I'm just gonna spritz it down, move on. Green bean casserole's looking good. See you guys soon. Okay, so now we're gonna make the glaze. The ham's still cooking, but I would like the glaze to cool off, so I'm just gonna do like a little medium heat here. I'm gonna start with a half a stick of butter. This is a recipe I got off of meatchurch.com. I'm using a little bit different. So we're gonna melt the butter. Like I said, we're just gonna do a little bit different than the Meat Church recipe. The Meat Church recipe is really good too. I did one yesterday and I made some pork chops and I made a glaze that's maple, like a maple syrupy glaze, and I made it a little bit different. Very good though. I mean, if you're looking for baseline recipes, that's a great site to check out. That's what we're doing the ham with today, is the glaze. So pretty much not much else to the ham. I mean, it's pre-cooked, so you're just basically smoking the flavor in. So we've got the butter's almost melted here. So as the butter's melting, we're gonna stir in the brown sugar. And this is basically 1 1/3 cup of brown sugar. So this is gonna be a really nice thick glaze. And I just measured out everything first to save some time on the video and for myself as well. So we're gonna put this in there, just stir it around. Seems like a lot of brown sugar compared to butter ratio. In fact, I probably will add a little butter, but we're also gonna do some bourbon too, so maybe stop there. So next ingredient we're gonna add is the pepper jelly. I chose to do, this is where mine differs a little bit. Instead of doing a jalapeno, or I mean a habanero, this is a jalapeno. My wife doesn't really like hot. So I love habanero flavor stuff, but she won't go for it. So the more you put in, the hotter it's gonna be. But I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons. And this is just a peach pepper jam. It's got jalapeno in it, it's really good. It's like a Southern Roots Sisters is what it is. That's what I got. I'm gonna get that in there too. And then it calls for 2 ounces of bourbon. This is the bourbon I'm using, the Texas Bourbon Straight. Not the blended whiskey. The one I made yesterday, I made with the blended whiskey. It was pretty good. But we're gonna try the bourbon. So 2 ounces. So we're gonna do 2 shots, basically. You can hear that bourbon bubbling already. So we're just gonna stir that in and mix it. It smells awesome. But I wanted to make this now because I want to let it cool off. Once I mix it and do that, I'm gonna put it in the fridge for a little bit because we're only gonna glaze it for like the last 30 minutes on the ham. Until then, I'm just gonna be spritzing it every half hour just to make it so it doesn't dry out. But this is a very easy recipe to make. The maple one was a little bit tougher, but man, it was really good. So we use like some maple syrup instead of butter, and a lot of brown sugar still. A little bit of bourbon, a little bit more than this actually. But I ended up using the blended whiskey because that's what we had. And it turned out pretty good because the recipe calls for the bourbon. But get this done, I'll get back with you. All right, so we're out here at the Pitboss, and it's been about 2 hours. So it's 12:52. I think it was 10:52 when we put the green bean casserole on. It's at 161 degrees now. So I would tell you, if you're trying to cook a green bean casserole on the smoker at 220, right around that hour 2 mark, that's when you want to start keeping an eye on it. So I'm gonna pick it up, spritz the ham. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and take the green bean casserole off. 161 degrees, probably pretty good. And then I'll just wrap it with tin foil and let it finish itself off. So talk to you guys in a bit. The ham is not done, but this looks delicious. So we're gonna have some. I've already had a bite of it. It's super good. So good. All right, so we're at internal temp 130. Got my glaze. I just put it on there. You can see it's super thick. I let it cool off. So it was like, best way I could describe it is like putty. Very thick, and it went on really thick too, but that's okay because the ham's going to heat it up and it's going to disperse, but it's kind of easy to work with it cold. Just kind of being able to spread it around real thick like putty, kind of like filling a hole in your wall or something like that. Super thick, super easy to use. It was hard to get out of the pan, but I just put it on with a spatula and you can see how thick it is in there. So super good. It's gonna be awesome. And then once we got about another half hour to cook yet, then we'll get it off, cut it up, be good to go. I've got the green beans on the stove, keeping warm, so should be ready to go pretty quick. All right, so we're at 136 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and pull it. It'll get you the rest of the way. Look how good that looks. Oh, let you know how it tastes here in a second. I'm gonna pull it off, cover it, let it rest for about 15 minutes. Go ahead and shut the grill off, and then we'll cut her up and see what she looks like. All right, guys, so the ham's done. I'm about to cut it. It's gonna be amazing. The glaze is fantastic. Oh yeah. See all the juice coming off of it already. Yeah. I'm just gonna grab one of these pieces here that's got the glaze on it. You can see how juicy it is. That one's got a bunch of fat on it. Let's grab another piece. Nice and juicy. You can see the juices coming off of it. Just looks really good. Yeah, you can taste the glaze in there, even on the inside. It's so good. Join me next time. Like and subscribe.